Okay, this is Joni with Fox and Socks Nursery. I'm going to show you guys how to strip a doll. I have one that I need to get stripped, and it makes me sad because she was completely done, and I used AK paint, which is not compatible with Genesis, and I did not know that until after I had it on her, and I was told it's going to peel the paint, so I have to strip, which makes me sad. Anyway, here is the baby. I'm going to be using a brush, some Q-tips, cotton swabs, and a makeup wedge. Pretty much an arsenal. And then I use Windsor brush cleaner and restore, and I've got it put into a little palette, and that way I don't waste. I'm pretty much very conservative with it. A little goes a long way. It's going to take about an hour to strip a doll. And any artist will tell you this is the saddest part. It's when you mess up and you have to strip and start over. And if there's some that won't come off, like blue from veins, or if you were like me, I already stripped the other arm and I had it sitting on my pad and it picked up that, which is pin. So I've got some Oxy tin sitting on it, and I'll be putting it in the oven and baking that Oxy tin because it's the heat, not the sunlight, that takes that out of the vinyl. Luckily it wasn't it was kind of like a light spot. So I just put that on there. It's zit cream, Oxy tin. I stuck it on there. Big blob. When it dries, I'm going to put it in the oven. Heat it up to like 170. I usually do for 5 or 6 minutes, and then I check it, and then I keep repeating it until it's off. I'm going to be stripping this baby today. There's another kit I have to strip. Actually did 4 babies in a cuddle head and use that AK, which makes me sad. So if you use Genesis, do not use AK varnish. They have heat set varnishes again now. I have some Irresistibles that I picked up, and it got here yesterday, and that's what I'm going to be using. It's the satin varnish, and I was told that it's more matte than satin, so that's why I'm going to use it. I'm going to try to get this done quickly. I did make another video, but my camera stopped in the middle of it. It said camera fail. It takes a while to get all the little creases. Scrubby scrub. Manipulate the vinyl. You can get in there. Those creases scrubbed out. And you have to apply it several times just to get the creases clean. It will eventually come out. It took me about half an hour to do that other arm. Make sure you have a nice chunk of your time to get to it. I'm pretty sad. I worked so hard on this baby. But you're only as good as the mistakes you make. Doesn't sound quite right, but it's true. The best make the best mistakes. That's how you learn. Get it off. Just a little at a time, so don't end up wasting. The head is what's going to make me the saddest, because sure you get in there next to the flange. You want to get all the paint. Okay, and when you get done stripping this and you've got it as clear as you possibly can, and try not to leave any paint behind, otherwise it will be harder to paint whenever you start back up again. Make sure you scrub it really good with some hot soapy water. You can let it soak for a little bit. This stuff is paint stripper, so if you don't get it all off, your paint won't stick. And yes, it has to be washed off. It can't just be dried because it leaves a residue behind. Let's see. I'm going over it several times. Between the fingers are going to be the worst. Between the toes. And the deep creases of the eyes, nose, lips, sometimes the ears. Oh man, that's stuck in it. There we go. Wipe it. See a bunch of it left. I know you probably can't. I can see it. And I usually go back over it one more time, even though it looks clear, with a makeup sponge, and usually you can pick up even more. Yes, I'm a little OCD. I want to make sure it's completely off. Okay, but look at that. Isn't that pretty? Too bad. I wasn't super happy with the nails on this baby, so I guess that'll give me some extra practice, right? Trying a different technique on the nails, and like I said, I wasn't that happy with them, so I'm going to go back to what I normally do. Paint likes to settle in the nail beds. And let's see, this is how you use the brush. If I can find it. It's blue. Nope. There it is. It's just a little tiny detail brush. It's, I think it's an 02. It's either an 01 or an 02. That works really well to get into little tiny creases. Like the knuckles and between the fingers and nail beds. Q-tips work really well. Takes a while to do these, so I don't know if I said that already, but take your time. I would not suggest fingernail polish remover because it will damage the vinyl. It could leave little pits in it, and it's not good for when you paint back over it. Even though it seems to be faster, don't do it. There's some other stuff people say works well, and again, I would not suggest anything other than paint stripper because it's designed specifically for paint. Fingernail polish isn't. Now, I know people have had success with it, but if you value your kit and the vinyl, don't do it. This stuff is strong. You're in a well-ventilated area. And I am manipulating the vinyl because I want to try to get in there and get everything. That does not hurt the vinyl. Whoop. Almost got this whole hand. So far this has taken 14 minutes. I think the other one took 20. You see it wears down to the little cardboardy thing. Makes it good to scrub. Oops. Okay, you can also leave it on there nice and wet and let it soak down. Sometimes that helps too. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm just wiping it right off. The only thing is it will take the paint off the brushes, so be careful. I think that may have happened to the other doll too. So, like, it takes the paint off your actual brush here, because if you get it on your fingers, because that's what it's designed to do, is strip paint. And it leave a sticky, tacky feeling to your brush. So make sure you wipe your brush down really good with some soapy water. Get that residue off. If I'm off camera, I'm sorry. It's gonna take a little bit more time between the nail or those fingers there. And this works so good for those little nooks and crannies. Oh, off camera, sorry. I'll do this, how's that? Here's it. Let's get that off. I'm just using the thinner to clean that paintbrush paint off me. I do not want to transfer it to the doll. That stuff's hard to get it out. Okay. Q-tips. I'm gonna have to go. Just trying to throw out the ones with the paint on them. I'm gonna have to go and get into the other box of Q-tips. It's in the other room. I'm trying not to waste this. This stuff is like 12 or 15 bucks, so I don't want to waste it. You can get it off Amazon. That Windsor Newton stuff. It's awesome. Oh. Okay. Just about got everything except for the nail pads and that thumb. See why people get upset about having to strip? I spend 20 or 30 minutes per limb. We're talking 2 hours and almost 3 hours. I ought to offer strip services. Charge $30. Who knows something? Find you a strip service and just pay them to do it, right? I'm just going back over it, and if I see a spot that needs it, I'm gonna hit it again. Oops. Okay. And you may ask, hey, why are you paying such particular attention to everything? It's because when you paint back over it, any paint that you've left behind, it will leave a chalky mess. And it'll be darker because it's just like every place else. The more paint you add, the darker it gets. So if you want it to look better, hit it hard. You'd think it wouldn't be so hard right there. Oof. Those little nail beds. Crazy, right? Ta-da! Alright, that's the end of this video.